You can share.
Well, it's time.
I just did it.
Oh. Does it?
It's doing it now. Oh, you know what?
We're having trouble loading this live video.
What chair?
Well, it's on. Oh, can you turn off the overhead light?
These lights?
Oh, they're
No.
talking.
Yes. No. Okay. No. Turn this one back on and then turn right. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. 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 Good. Wait, you gotta be introduced first. Okay.
So they don't. Okay.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Imani.
I'm Imani's mom.
How come your head? Wait, you need to scoot back. Your head looks like way. Okay, that's better. So hi, I'm Imani. And we're gonna try this again.
Hi, Pat. Hi.
My name is Imani,
My name is Imani's mom.
and my favorite animal is a giraffe.
My favorite.
I want you to just follow the directions, okay?
My favorite animal is a dragon. Are you spitting seeds into the food while we're-
Well, nobody can see it. First of all, that's not a real animal.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you went to the zoo and you saw dragons now?
Who goes to the zoo anymore? Nobody
I
goes
mean,
to the zoo.
well-
It's inhumane.
I never liked the zoo.
Okay, of all of the creatures
Yeah.
in the Chinese zodiac,
Heritage Bay.
the only one that is the biggest, the baddest,
And the one that doesn't exist is a dragon.
but I exist in a massive way.
What are you? You're the dragon. That's why you act like that, right?
Okay.
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 I'm a year of the rabbit, I think.
Are you going to spit seeds in the cup?
No one can see me spitting seed.
Oh my God.
Okay. Anyway, see, you're being highly disagreeable. That being dragons are not real, Alicia. Thank you. I just want to point that out.
Vanity Snob said dragons.
That's
are real.
Alicia. It's not. They're not real. Okay. So anyway, hi.
They're real.
Oh, should we introduce our special guest?
Where do I sit?
Just come right here. Just move your chair over here. Hey,
chair here. Turn
this
sideways.
special guest. Hi. Oh my God. Who is it? It's Idris. Let me move this a little bit so that you know. Yay.
Yeah.
You want to
Okay.
say something to the people?
Hi.
Hi.
My favorite animal is a cuttlefish. I like them.
A cuttlefish?
Oh, it's like a cross between a squid and an octopus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you know that?
No. I don't really mess with
You're the
animals like that.
science person and you don't know what a cuttlefish is?
I'm a doctor. I have a major in, I graduated with a BS in biology, but I didn't know anything about
It
a
must be
cuttlefish.
BS because you don't know what cuttlefish is.
You can go upstairs. Y'all, okay. You know, all right. This was probably a mistake, but whatever. Here we are. No one can see your head, and I feel like that's karma on you. All right. So, hi.
What are we going to talk about this week?
Well, okay. We're gonna start this over. Hi. Say hi.
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 Okay. Hi. Also, Idris's voice got mad deep, and it's really kind of strange.
And he has a little mustache.
And he has like hair. It's gross. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So here's some questions. There's questions that some of y'all have.
Hello from Washington Heights. I went to grammar school
Hi,
in Washington
Washington
Heights,
Heights.
St. Rose of Lima on 164th and St. Nick.
Well, I have a lot of friends who used to live in Washington Heights.
Somebody said hi, Idris.
Hi.
Oh yeah, Carib Heritage. Hello. Okay, so hold on. You mentioned I mentioned fasting earlier on my IG video this morning. Do I care to share any details about my process and why I fast? Well, I used to fast a lot more when
Hi from Dallas.
I used to fast a lot more when I was younger. Excuse me, when I say younger, I mean like late 20s, early 30s. but because I just feel like when it gets hot, I usually don't really have an appetite. Okay, I want you to stop. Okay. Because let me tell you something. You came over here mad early.
I was not mad early.
And then at 4:55, you were like, "Well, what are you gonna?" I'm like, first of all, we have time.
I asked for a tissue.
Don't
I got a paper towel because
we don't believe
you are savages
I
in this
have
house.
tissues, but you know what? That's what happened when you want to act up. You get paper towels to wipe your nose.
I refuse.
Oh my God! All right. So anyway, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my son and my mom. I just ate a bunch of donuts, basically this whole weekend. I just ate a bunch of weird stuff. So I was like, I need to just chill and reset my whole mind frame about food. So, what did I eat today?
Cherries that you were spitting the pits in that.
You know what? I ate them all. Yeah, I was spitting the pits off camera though.
Still spitting.
So anyway, to answer your question, I don't really fast that much. I kind of just eat. And then I work out to eat. So that's pretty much what I do. But I'm gonna do this intermittent fasting again because it's 2020. You gotta keep it tight, gotta keep it right. Have you ever fasted?
I have.
When you were a Muslim?
And other times.
When?
I did Ramadan once because then after that I was pregnant with you, and pregnant women don't have to.
When is this other fasting time that I don't know about?
You think you're in all parts of my life?
Listen, okay.
But I do want to say that sometimes, although it seems like it might be counterintuitive, sometimes it's actually good to eat one meal a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you're
Right.
not dumb hungry.
Eat one meal a day. And I grew up, I don't like breakfast food, as you know. So I eat leftover dinner for breakfast food. And Idris, what do you eat for breakfast that Grandpa always fixes you?
Bagels.
Miso
You
soup.
eat miso soup and
And
soft-boiled
soft-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
6-minute
eggs, actually. I've perfected that.
Yeah. But, eating throughout the day and keeping your stomach muscle grinding is not always a good thing.
The stomach is an organ, though.
There's a grinding
There's
motion.
longitudinal and circular muscles.
She didn't know what a cuttlefish was.
Why would
They're
Okay.
awesome. They
Okay.
can
Let
eat
me just.
calories.
Okay. Let me just explain. I want to bring it down.
I'm a doctor.
Okay. I want to bring it down because I was a little irritated. I'm a little irritated because a couple of y'all was trying to come for my mom on the last post. Yeah.
I saw that.
I know. I was like, have you lost your whole mind? I'm going to beat you into the ground.
But it's okay because
You didn't say anything, but I'm like, I don't play. Listen,
I want to.
I'm really nice, but then I'm
The
not.
gang shut it down. I wasn't going to do anything. I knew those.
Don't play with me.
I knew the folks out there.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen,
all right?
you don't have to worry about defending me because I can be really there. But there was no need to. All these very supportive people were like, "That's her mom." And all I was asking was, how come you always walking around half naked?
Because you always walked around naked when I was a kid. You are lying. Oh my God.
Are you saying outside in front of people?
No, I'm talking about in the house.
Oh.
I'm in my house. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna just bring it down. I'm a little irritated because
You were in your house, but you shared a picture with tens of thousands of people.
that's different. I was out.
You could be a marine biologist.
Okay, both of y'all are wilding. I'm about to do this by myself. I'm really y'all wilding. Okay, so okay.
What they said about Mama Pam. I think people
Pam?
think my name is Pam, but it's
Yeah, it's
Paula.
Paula.
It's Paula. It's
Who's
okay because it's
Pam?
P.A. Madison.
Oh,
So it's
Pam. I'm like,
right.
who is Pam?
But I'm okay with that.
I'm
It's
from
okay.
Martin.
I think because for much of my life, whenever I was around her, I was Imani's mom. In fact, people would say to me, "Hi, Imani's mom." So I just say I'm Imani's mom.
They're all mine.
You're
Idris, and she's your mom.
Yeah. I mean, when I go to school, your parents be like, "Hi, Idris' mom." I'm like, "Hello, I don't know who you are, but hi." Okay. This is an interesting question, actually. It's from Positive Keys 30. How do you deal with living in a toxic environment if you do not have the financial means to leave? I don't really.
I'm not sure because I've not really experienced that, but I would ask, what do you need to leave? What does it means to leave? Do you need your own apartment, your own house, your own car? Or do you need a safe space where you can be at peace? And that may be asking a friend, a relative, even if it means you get a blow-up mattress or sleep on the couch. But if it's really that toxic, I think it's kind of like when I hear people, they're engaged for 3 years and they're saving up for some special occasion to get married. And I ask, like, why? You already know you're going to get married.
Or the people who are like, this is my GoFundMe because we want our dream wedding. I'm like, that's your problem.
Listen,
I'm not giving you money for that.
If it's that important and it's that toxic, leave and work out how to do it. But if you need to have a this and a this and a this and a this, then it's going to be a problem. And part of the problem and why the toxicity may exist is because you're staying in the environment
and you can't think straight,
and you're not leaving. So if it's that difficult, if it's that toxic, pad up.
I actually, I don't know. Did you ever watch that show? What's it called? Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
Something like that.
Yeah. So when I saw the first season, somebody said, "What about toxic children?"
Oh my God.
Okay. So anyway, what I was saying is, so I was watching Big Little Lies, and it was basically about, like mostly white women. I think like Lisa Bonet's daughter is on it. And in any case, what's her name? Who's the
blonde one?
Yeah, the
Reese Witherspoon.
No, the other one. She's from
Australia.
Yeah.
The one who was married.
Nicole Kidman. Yeah. Nicole Kidman. Okay, so Nicole Kidman was getting physically like abused by her husband, and she actually started to like, she started seeing a therapist, and then she started like kind of, I guess like moving money over. So that she could like get an apartment. And so she was trying to make these steps. And I actually looked up the fact that when it comes to actually people who come from like, let's say the couple's wealthy, but it's mainly like the husband's money. Like it's when they try to get divorced, like it can be really, really like there are different factors and different sets of factors that they need to deal with, because in a lot of times the man will attempt to limit his wife's movements by how much money he puts in her bank account. But I don't know.
So
that
that's
life.
an experience. I mean, I don't know. I don't know of folks from my neighborhood who grew up believing that all of your everything has to come from a man.
No, I didn't either, but I have friends who are like, and I'm like,
right.
Oh, okay,
so what I'm saying is all of the advice that your mother, your grandma, your auntie would give you, which is always have your own money. Figure out how to have your own money.
Yeah.
You always need to do that. That's number one. But I'll say too that when I got married to my husband, we immediately combined all the bank accounts, because I don't believe in I got my money, you got your money. If you have married someone who is not a knucklehead. If you've married a knucklehead...
Why are you pointing at me, though?
I'm not. I'm actually pointing... Well...
No. Okay, you both, okay?
Okay, well, all I'm saying is...
I keep my stuff separate, but...
Well, you have to... Right. Well, what I'm saying is...
Okay, you've been wilding, okay? Because last time you told everybody that Imani smokes marijuana every day, and you know what? I don't usually. Well, okay, I do
did
usually.
Not say that.
Yes, you did. Okay, stop. Okay. Everybody stop. I'm about to. You know what? No more lives.
It's legal in this
No
state.
more lives for you. Go ahead. What you know?
It's legal. Anyway, what I'm saying is that I think that any woman who is thinking clearly has to think that she's not going to rely solely on another individual, man, woman, whomever,
right,
for life, living, and sustenance. You got to figure out how to get something yourself. That's all I want to say.
I never Okay, so actually, so I have a friend. She's like my best friend, and she's in the process of
Doing the do.
Well, yeah.
Hatting up.
Huh?
Hatting up. Getting my hat. Leaving. I'm out.
Okay, yeah, I don't know these terms, but in any case, that being said, I remember like she actually like, we talked a lot about this, and there was one particular conversation we had this year where she was like, yo, I was always taught by her mom and I guess like her, female counterparts in her family, like, I was always taught to like, find a man who can support me. And then, I'll feel safe. And I was like, well, my mother, my grandmother, and my mom always taught me that men are like, less than. So just to have my own.
Well, I don't know that I said less than.
Well, I mean, that was the sentiment. It was like, don't rely on no dude.
Yeah, don't rely on no dude. But that didn't have anything to do with less than. That was not the message.
Grandma.
Okay, that was grandma. That was my mother.
That was.
But what I would say
men are stupid, evil, and
I'm right here.
Yeah, right. We're raising a young man here.
Yeah, but he's different. So
I would say that it is not wise to become a grown adult with the plan that somebody's going to take care of you if you are a black woman in these United States of America. Maybe it works for Becky. Maybe it works for Karen. It don't work for Shaniqua, Paula, Imani, Brenda. It doesn't work for black women. You need to figure out how to have yours.
Oh, you know what? Contessa's in here. Hold on. Where's Contessa at? Oh, those are questions. My bad.
But I want to make sure that everybody does understand that you have to be self-reliant.
Yeah, you got to be self-reliant. Like, I would never feel comfortable.
And you could be self-reliant together.
Right. And I think that was probably one of the hardest things I had to deal with when we were doing, hi Contessa, request to be in my life. That was one of the things that was kind of weird for me to deal with when we shot the first season of Married to Medicine LA, because I was like, I really don't know women who, I'm like, so did your like husband give you like an allowance?
Everybody's screaming, go live with Contessa.
Okay, I'm gonna go live with Contessa. I wanted to say that. Okay, hold on.
Go live with Contessa.
Here it is. I just request Contessa, so we'll see if she comes on.
Okay. I also want to say that I have 2 older brothers, and I always grew up with a plan that I would tell any man who I was seriously involved with, whatever you do, don't hit me, because my brothers.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to get stopped.
Oh, look, it's Contessa. Where are you? Are you driving?
She looks like she's driving.
Can you hear me? I'm
Are you
pulling over.
driving?
I'm pulling
Yeah,
over.
I was going to say, pull over, please. We don't want to be a part of a news story.
No, but I got to get to Costco because I got to get this food before they close in like 7 minutes.
Oh, well, okay. Well,
no.
First of all, I just want to say hi. Hi, girl.
I wanted to say hi. I love your mom. Hey, Mama Paula. I call you Mama Paula. I know you ain't my mama, but I still call you that. And I'm so glad you.
Thank you, Contessa.
I remember when
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So you driving fast, rushing to get food and pick it up before they close in 7 minutes. So I just want to make sure. So you do cook, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Way more than I like to.
Okay, good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you're not racing around trying to beat the traffic so you can pick up food.
No,
there are other options, but
no. But it's so funny. I actually was contemplating not working, and my mother's voice popped into my head when I decided to do that, and she was like, "Are you out of your mind?"
Oh, about being independent?
Yes, it's so important.
Yeah.
And I know people idolize women that sit around and don't really do anything with their time and day other than watching their children grow where they don't. And they can do that, and that's fine. But the problem is also that sometimes, and Mama Paula, you've been together for a very long time with your spouse. I mean, if you become disinteresting, that's true with man, woman, anything. You know, so you got to keep who you are. You got to maintain like your own individuality, because that is not really attractive, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't like it. There is definitely, somebody actually asked a question earlier, like, how do I feel about the housewives? I mean, I don't know them, you know, like I never met any housewives and whatever. But you know, I've always worked. I started working when I was 14. That's when we could get working papers in New York City. And I wanted to have my own stuff, even though back then my parents would give me an allowance, but I just wanted to have that agency over my life.
So let me say this. I think that the belief that when a man and woman marry, they become one is way too simplistic.
Yeah.
I think that a man and woman are two individuals who come together, who absolutely love each other and who want to be together, but the two individuals are still two people. They can operate as a couple, but this belief, this fantasy that your time is my time is your time, why are you spending time with somebody else and not with me? When you talked about people not being interesting or running the risk of not being interesting, I would be concerned about me getting bored over and over and over.
Like I heard that story.
That's right.
already.
Not to say that I don't love him, because I do. I don't play golf. I don't
Right.
ski. I don't want to play golf. I don't want to ski. But he loves it, and if it makes him happy, then I want him to do that. Right? So I think
Yes,
that
ma'am.
what we're talking about here is understanding that two people come together. Are you at the store? What are you getting? What are you ordering?
Yes, ma'am. I'm good. I'm fine. Yes, I got it. I'm pulling. Yes, ma'am. I'm getting some veggies for the family.
Just veggies?
Yes, ma'am. Some veggies, and my daughter wants steak because we messed her up and she started asking for like real food instead of chicken nuggets. So
Oh.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I'm listening though. I mean, when you spit pearls, I love to listen to you guys together. You know, for people like me who don't have a mom, like we're gonna pull it down. For people like me who don't have a mother anymore, you have no idea what contribution you're making to our lives. So,
I thank
Imani,
you, but I want to say to you, you always have a
please keep
mother.
doing this.
Your mother is always with you. Mothers never leave, even when they're not physically present. On this
ma'am.
plane, mothers are always here because they have
She's
to
in
be
here.
here for the children and for the grandchildren.
And then sometimes when you are a resident in Philly and your mom lives in LA, she will wake you up and call you at 6 a.m. and be like, well, whatever, it's cool. I'm like, no, I just,
She's wearing it.
I know, huh?
I'm like,
I love it.
I don't
But
even
it's-
understand how that's a problem.
Yes.
Anyway, because some people
I
like,
have it. I have it though. Okay. I'm
It's
sorry.
a
She's,
bizarre call.
I know. Well, you know, she's making me pull out my card. So
Okay,
I love
yeah,
you
go
guys. I
ahead
won't
and
hold you
handle
up.
your business.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Say hello to your family.
Yeah, say hi
Thank
to Scott and
you.
everybody for me.
Okay.
Love
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi. Hi, we're back.
Okay, we are.
Okay, we're back.
Idris, do you want to talk about something?
Oh, look, it's Kathy. Yo, Kathy. Hi. Where you go? Yo, mom just made me cry with that. Yo, big up to my best friend from high school, Kathy, BX, Kit Kat.
Some of my sorors.
No, we're not
are
doing
on.
that now. Hi to Kathy, my best friend from Calhoun. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. You know what? I was trying to shout Kathy
Honorary
out.
Centennial 6.
Okay. Let's see if anybody wants to join.
I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick some Kalex. Kalex Robinson. I'm requesting you, so we'll see.
Oh, Dr. Contessa.
Oh my God.
Throwing up the mids.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so sorry, guys. You guys caught me off like really off guard.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, ma'am. But I just had a couple of questions. Well, first and foremost, hi, hello,
Hi.
how are you doing?
Good.
I just want to say that Dr. Imani and Dr. Imani's mom, I just want to say that you guys are definitely a role model for girls out here, young women, and just
nice.
women in general. I love you guys' relationship. I wish that me and my mother had that type of relationship, and I'm actually trying to build that. But I just want to say thank you guys so much just for your knowledge of just being able to tell us what is really going on and being able to educate us. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for that. I really truly
Nice. That's so
That's
nice.
very sweet of you. Thank you
But
so
the
much.
one question that I did wanted to ask was, as far as your lineage, how was you guys able to, you know, go more into depth as far as where you come from, what, you know, where it started? Because as far as for me and my friends, unfortunately, you know, we don't have the funds, or, you know, certain family members miss out certain pieces of the puzzle for us.
Right.
So what was it that you guys were able to?
So I will tell you right now that one of the key ways, particularly for African Americans these days, the Mormon Church, we're not Mormons, the Mormon Church has a free website called FamilySearch.org. Family Search is one word, FamilySearch.org. They, about 3 years ago, uploaded like 10 million documents related to African Americans and freedmen in the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
There are veterans records, there are bills of sale.
Yes, ma'am.
There are like if you join if you join the army or join the military, and who you named as your next of kin and who would have inherited what. And these records go all the way back into the 1800s.
Okay.
It's FamilySearch.org, and it's free.
Okay.
It's free, right? So this really doesn't involve money, but I can't tell you the numbers of folks who are finding lots and lots and lots of information about this. If you are from the Caribbean, there's also a bunch of information that's been uploaded. But for the Caribbeans, for example, who come from China, I have two dear friends of mine who run companies who will help with the search. And while it sounds like it could be a lot, what I did in my family is one year I made it everybody's Christmas present that I did a search and found out information about our family. So there are a variety of ways of doing it. But I hope that helps you.
Yes.
FamilySearch.org.
Yeah, somebody
Yes,
I pinned it. Yeah, so somebody wrote it out. So thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yes, I greatly appreciate that, because that is something that I've been wanting to do. Definitely for me and my friends. We're just, you know, kind of hesitant on the DNA, and definitely wanting to making sure that it doesn't, you know, go too far of what, you know, could possibly happen, you know, conspiracy theories and things like that of that nature.
Well, if you want to do a DNA search to find out where you're from in Africa, a friend of mine, Gina Page, owns AfricanAncestry.com.
Yes, I follow
AfricanAncestry.com. Now that costs money, but all DNA searches cost money. But what that one does is it tells you the tribe you're from, and it puts you in touch online with a whole host of people who are of your same tribe. So like 15 years ago or so, when Ghana was celebrating its 50th anniversary of independence, a lot of the people from AfricanAncestry.com who had found their lineage on that, they all got together and traveled to Ghana to celebrate. It was, I didn't go, I wasn't there for that, but I read about it and I was very jealous.
But also the good thing about African Ancestry, as opposed to 23andMe, is that AfricanAncestry.com AfricanAncestry.org. AfricanAncestry.org does not sell your DNA information to pharmaceutical companies or to law enforcement.
Okay.
So there was
they got black people in mind.
Yes, right. There was an article recently that because of the DNA data that was uploaded to 23andMe, they actually were able to forge a deal with a pharmaceutical company, which, you know, could be good, but then it's like, if that's your information, like, you know, I don't want people, you know,
all those pages of approval stuff that nobody reads and clicks. I accept. There's all kinds of things that you're giving away, all kinds of privacy rights. So it makes it difficult. But Gina Page and what they're doing, AfricanAncestry.com has the largest database of African DNA of any of those companies out there. So I recommend that one.
Right. Okay. Exactly.
So I hope that helps.
Yeah. Yes, it does. And of course, I also wanted to mention Idris back there. You are such an amazing young man. Stay
Thank you.
strong, stay steadfast. You have great, great role models right in front of you. And it's just amazing because Dr. Imani, I watched you on Fuck You Dineva. That's my favorite blogger. And just how you guys are able to connect with Idris and being able to say that, you know, he's in the room. Conversation is going to happen. I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for just breaking barriers. You guys just don't understand that the millennial generations, we are watching you guys, definitely both of you guys, and we're just taking notes. We really are. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. That's so nice of you.
Thank you.
You have a good rest of
You
your
too. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Somebody, Idris, somebody asked, they were like, Idris is so quiet. But somebody asked something about, like, how do you, like, have you ever dealt with bullying? Like, how do you deal with bullying at your school?
Well, they're not really bullying at my school.
Yeah, because your school is really small.
Yeah. But they're at school, I'll try to be quiet most of the time and until like I'm outside, because like it's good to like not get into other people's business like that. And that kind of like makes it so I don't have to deal with bullies as much.
If you did have to deal with a bully, what would you do?
Yeah, what would you do?
I would probably I don't really know if it's never happened, but the first person I would tell would be my mom, because she would most likely handle it.
Yeah, I would definitely handle it.
Yeah, I was going to say that it probably would be unwise for anybody to bully you or to try to bully you.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted you to have martial arts training, which you do, so that grandma doesn't have to go to school. And
I mean, I would go to school first, though.
And that's fine, but I need to go clean it up.
Okay, well, I did a good job last time. All right, and then actually, here's another question. What was the last lesson I had to teach Idris?
It was probably in 6th grade.
What happened?
When I got called the N-word for the first time.
Oh yeah. Okay, so a couple of years ago, Idris was called the N-word and some other stuff by someone who is his friend. And
he got called it online.
Online, sorry, they were online, and I said this.
Have a sip of water.
Yeah, I talked about this a little bit on the show, but I knew when I was pregnant, like, you know, I had to deal with it. I knew my son was going to have to deal with it. So when it happened, it wasn't a surprise to me, but it was certainly a surprise to him. But because the parent of the person who called my son the N-word wasn't, like, let's say that this person wasn't as sophisticated in race relations as she could have been.
Becky, Karen.
Right. So I, you know, and I said it on the show. I didn't care. I was like, listen, I've never made a white woman cry about something like that in such a, you know, quick amount of time. It only took me 2 minutes. I was very proud of myself. There was a lot of crying on her part. There was a lot of, like, excuses to be made on her part. But
there was a statement that went something like, "We're from Sweden. There are no black people there. We can't be racist." And
right. And I was like, I have black friends from Sweden. So what are you talking like?
I wasn't present for that.
No, but I mean, so needless to say, you know, I told Idris, I was like, you know, listen, when these things happen, you need to tell me, because these are black mom moments. Like I don't spaz out on people, and I don't spaz out, you know, when I have to deal with something in a business type fashion, which is what I had to do. But I definitely professionally, like, you know, like, crushed her into the pavement. So it was very rewarding for me. But basically what I told Idris was, I was like, listen, you know, this is your friend. Like, I can't tell you what to do now, right? Like, when I was called that when I was younger, these people were not my friends. One of them I ended up being friends with, but I was like, well, if you don't call me that, like, on site, I gotta beat you up. Like, that's just how it works. But I told Idris, I was like, listen, if you want to be friends with him, like, you know, you got to, like, search deep down and try to, you know, figure out if you can really do it like that. So are y'all still friends?
Yep.
Yeah, they're still friends. And I mean, whenever the boy sees me, he's always like, and I'm like, ha, like, you know what? Try it again.
See, I think that still being friends might come from a perspective of being one of a handful of black kids in a white school. Because where I grew up.
I mean, but that was me too. I was like, where?
Well,
Anyway, bye.
but I handled it differently than you handled it
Mm-hmm.
because I came from a different place than you came from.
Right.
Right. So I went to the school.
But I act the same way that you.
I went to the school. I told the head, whatever her name is, headmaster, headmistress,
Guy.
to get that person in there. And what, you know,
You said you was gonna own the school.
if they didn't straighten this up, and I was very threatening, and I can be intimidating because I, you know,
Very.
if you're intimidated by me, it's not my problem. It's your problem.
Right, that's your problem. Like you don't like. I don't start things, but I will finish it, and then you'll feel stupid. Okay, so
Did I tell you that the first person who taught me how to fight was my mother? And my mother's the person who taught me growing up in Harlem.
Well, my mom did too. I mean,
Go get a beer
go
bottle,
get a bottle, break it
the
on
long
the,
neck beer bottle,
break
it on the curb,
and then
and go for the jugular.
go for it. Right. That's what my mom
Because
told me.
sometimes when you grow up in that kind of an environment, you have to make a statement. You have to make people know.
I'm crazy.
I'm
I'm not
"Who are
well
you?
all the time.
Who are you? And the answer is
The
not
person,
the one.
the person who just beat
I'm
your
not
ass.
the one.
Right.
I am not
that
the one.
person. So
Go find somebody else to mess with because I don't stop until you're probably dead.
Okay. So someone asked, how do you guys feel about Idris going back to school, and do you trust the data that's being presented to support the reopenings? So I'm gonna say this: I'm a doctor, not as a flex. And I have a master's in public health. So when it comes to these types of situations, you really have to listen to the epidemiologists.
There's my brother saying, "Don't forget the meat cleaver."
Oh my God, Uncle Elliot. So in any case, I'm someone who, when it comes to science, that's what I do. Like, that's what I listen to. Like, I just want the facts. I don't want to know your feelings about it. It's very weird to me that people who are in positions of power and deal with education, like Betsy DeVos, who knows nothing. She's a complete idiot.
Karen.
Right, right. Like she's like Megatron Karen.
Supreme Karen.
She's Supreme Karen. Exactly. I just think it's interesting that it's like, oh, well, you know what? Like, we just got to get these kids in school. And it's like, girl, for what? So and think about it, like kids.
We got to keep our kids alive.
Yeah, like kids are sociable. Like they be all up in each other's faces. And like, I'm not doing any of that. Like I'm not. So, and now we know that, yes, although in the very beginning, kids weren't getting the symptoms of COVID, now they really are. So there's like COVID tolls, there's like all kinds of like next level symptoms.
But I don't understand how people are willing to sacrifice their children.
Well, maybe.
I mean, I get it if they have
understand.
no other options.
Right.
If you're one of the folks who's lost your job, you don't have insurance, you don't have whatever. But even with that, they were handing out free meals daily. And they, somewhere in here, does it mean that your child might be left behind? Maybe. But I guess I'm a believer in a living child who's behind than a dead child who went to school.
And also, I mean, I'll just say, like, when it comes to Idris, he won't be behind, because when it came to, was that 6th grade? When I had to teach you like decimals and fractions?
Yes.
Okay, so Idris, is having some issues with math, and math is like his favorite subject. Like it used to be really, really quick for him. But I knew that when we moved from, basic level math to kind of like fractions and decimals and algebra, that he would need some help. Luckily, I'm really good at math still. So he wasn't understanding like decimals, fractions, and all this. So I sat him down like after he ate breakfast, and I was like, we're not leaving to go to school until you learn this. I'm like, these are things I have to do in my head every day at work. So I just sat him down and did it. And then, he went to school. He was like, all right, bet. I was like, bet. Yay. Also, new math is weird, and
It's confusing.
It's so dumb.
Somebody asked, how do you make Black children smarter? And
talk to them.
Listen to them.
Talk to them in complete sentences. Read with them. Like with Idris, I said this before, but basically I was like, Idris, you gonna use your words. Like, tell me what you want, And, you know, for me, I definitely noticed that by the time he was like 2.5, 3 years old, we were like conversing in like complete sentences. And some of my other friends, let's say, who didn't speak in complete sentences or maybe, you know, use baby talk, like they were still kind of like, oh, I have to, you know, poo poo and what. I'm like, that's
language.
right. Like you have to
But
pee in the bathroom, in the toilet. Okay, great. Let's just do that.
even right now, in these times when kids are really not in school, yesterday I said to Idris, we need to get you a dissecting kit so you can catch worms and, you know, send away and order frogs and whatever and see what they're made of.
Yeah.
But there are all kinds of things that you can do with kids that make them inquisitive and smarter. My husband, Grandpa's we're always outside in early in the morning, 5 a.m. looking at stars, and he teaches us about the constellations and all
I was
these things
super into like constellations when I was younger. So,
right. You wrote a book, what, the Once and Future Astronaut?
Yeah, but then those people got killed, and I was like,
yeah.
Not doing that.
Okay, well, the point is that to make a child smarter, I think you just have to make that child the most important person. And when that child is talking to you, you give that child undivided attention and let that child know that he or she so.
Oh, sorry. Somebody tried to call me. It's a spam call. Sorry, we're back.
Okay. There's Dr. Jordan. Idris, do your friends ask you about the Instagram program?
What's that?
What does that mean? Sorry, I don't know.
About this? I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
No.
know.
I mean, I was pretty late to Instagram anyways.
Well, yeah. Well, I told Idris he couldn't have an Instagram until he was 13, and it would be private, and I'll be following him. I do know, like I told Idris earlier, like I do know that some of my counterparts do have, you know, they, I guess, allow their kids to be on Instagram, and you know, it's a public account, but I don't do that. Like he's not interested in entertainment, so there's no need for any of that. Like, no. Okay, let's. Oh, somebody asked me what lipstick I'm wearing. I'm pretty cheap. I don't really wear a lot of makeup, and I'm pretty cheap when it comes to makeup. This is probably it's Milani from the drugstore from Walgreens, and it's called Amore Shine.
Okay, let's take somebody live.
Wow. Okay.
I'm bored with you and lipstick.
You know what? Somebody.
I like the questions about me.
Of course, you like the questions about you, Idris.
You're just like your mother.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Kiamisha. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And we'll see what happens. Thank you, Joy Toy. I think it looks good on me too. It's a really nice brick color. Okay.
Kiamisha?
Yeah.
Not there?
Well, it's connecting. So while we're waiting.
You know why I wore these long earrings today?
Why?
To see if you would try them on.
No, because I have to. These are
very light.
I know, but no. I mean, I used to change my earrings, but then I got these and they're screw on, so they're kind of like annoying to get off. The last person who got them off was actually my surgeon.
Okay, that's a little deep.
Well, no one could get it off. Like the anesthesiologist couldn't get it off, and then you know.
Idris, what do you
like to do for fun, Idris?
I like to play video games. I edit videos sometimes, and I just socialize online with friends from everywhere.
So I know the answer to this, but like, how did you feel with the lockdown? Like, because it basically Friday y'all had school, and then Monday it was like California, like LA's on lockdown.
It basically just felt like a long weekend, but I had school.
Yeah, but then you were upset for a second because you were like, oh my God, all my friends are telling me that, you know, all my friends are telling me that the grades aren't going to count, and you know, you like this last year and this year you've been really focused on like getting into like a good high school, which you will because you have really good grades.
Yeah. Well, I was upset just because like in certain times I was missing some of the things because like it would be things like the Wi-Fi was down and then like I would be falling behind. and it'll be hard to get back up. But surprisingly, I got better grades.
Yeah, you did actually. Yeah. But then I also think you were like upset because, I mean, it was like your entire social circle.
It collapsed.
It collapsed. Right. Like that's very like, that's terrible. That's awesome. I mean, that's not awesome. It's awful.
Yeah. We would ask him how he's doing, and you communicated with your friends online and stuff. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what questions.
Make the best of it. How do your friends react to you being on Married to Medicine LA?
Well, only one friend actually watches it, and she talks to me about it sometimes. But other than that, it's like
yeah. Oh, Idris, what games do you like to play?
It's a variety of things. Currently, I'm playing Terraria and for a few first-person shooters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
He was going from the age of 6 till 12. Summer times, UCLA coding camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Imani, would you ever move back to New York?
Yeah.
No. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm feeling blessed. I'm so glad you added me. I have a quick question.
Of course. Sure.
So I'm an aspiring vet, right? I've already taken some classes. I'm actually a pre-vet student, but I wanted to know what encouragement could you give someone who's trying to finish, last like undergrad and really like stick to their guns. And because COVID, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of like taking me down some mentally, but like, just not spiritually, but definitely mentally. It's like, I don't know if I want to still do that, so I'm really gung-ho about like, my animals and my career, but it's scary. So how would you, go about that?
So before COVID, did you have like a study group? Like, did you like have a group of people that you would, meet with and like, study obviously?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay. During COVID, did you all, kind of try to keep it like, would you all get on Zoom or, anything like that?
No,
right?
we kind of just all fell by the wayside. And I also have a pet styling business. So it was like, I kind of focused more into that instead of, you know what I mean? So I'm looking for a little motivation to get back into it.
Let me see. When I was pre-med, I mean, and I went to Xavier, and Xavier was like a doctor factory. So it was like they kind of provided us with the motivation.
Yeah.
When I got to med school, though, I remember like the first day we were in anatomy, and I was like they were doing like the back of the neck, the occipital triangle dissection, and I was like, so what do I have to know from this? And they were like, Imani, everything. And I was like, okay, but and I was trying to like negotiate. They were like, Imani, you have to know everything. I was like, okay. What helped me a lot is that, I found friends who were just as serious about wanting to be doctors as I did. And you would think that everyone in med school is as, motivated, but some people were there because their parents wanted them to go.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I'm finding that
like,
more with my constituents, that a lot of them, it wasn't their dream, and it's still my dream. Don't get me wrong; it's still very much my dream. But it's like the oomph and the tenacity that I used to have about it. It slowly waned away, and I'm like trying to build it back up any way possible.
Right. I think. Well, what I used to do before, I guess people coined the term like vision boards, is like I had like my office or my study, and I would put up like pictures of things that like, oh, one day I'm gonna get a Range Rover. One day and now that I'm a doctor, I'm like, I don't even care about any of that. But I mean, for that time, that's really what kind of motivated me. And back in New York, I remember in New York City, if you're a doctor, you could apply to get like a New York doctor plate. And I was like, when I'm done, I'm gonna get a New York doctor plate, and it didn't work out because now I live in LA.
See, and look.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, stuff like that. It doesn't even have to necessarily like come true, but it's just something so that like you can distract yourself enough to just be like, all right, you know what? Like, let me just buckle down and do what I need to do.
All right, so I'm gonna do the other, come at it the other way, which is that I guess in my generation, when we were able to gain admittance to professional schools, what we knew was that we were bringing along the goals and struggles of millions of folks,
Amen.
right?
Amen.
So, and I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty or anything like that,
Yeah, no, I know.
but the reality is that my mother wanted me to be a doctor. I had no interest in being a doctor.
Good job for
And there was a
not,
point where my mother, I could tell she was like, journalism? What is that? Right?
And
Like,
now
ugh.
look at you.
And then when my daughter at the age of 10 announced she wanted to be a doctor, I had worth again in my mother's eyes, because I guess if you can't be a doctor, then you may as well spawn one.
yeah, but can
all
I
of
say,
that,
you also got mad when I told you I wanted to be a psychiatrist.
yeah, because I didn't want you walking around inside of people's heads.
But it's too late.
But the point, now I'm glad that she is, and I'm glad that the Range Rover ended up not being the motivating factor, which is
Amen.
so trivial.
I mean, it is trivial, but like,
However, back to, I remember I grew up on 164th Street, Amsterdam Avenue. My mother would walk around the corner to Stitt Junior High School with me, take me into the voting booth, and on the walk there, she would say, "Do you know how many people died for us to have the right to vote? As long as you are alive, whether it's a primary election or the general election, you have to vote." I have never missed voting ever. And I'm saying all this to say that if you're in school to be a veterinarian, you're clearly a really smart brother, right? The motivation is look behind. Remember what Thanksgiving looks like at your parents' house. Remember what summer times are like hanging out with all your cousins. All these people are looking at you, hoping and praying that you're going to fulfill the dreams of our ancestors.
Amen.
And that's what I would say to you.
Okay.
Let that be one of the things also that motivates you. Because by the way, there's not a whole lot of us.
It's not.
In spite of the fact that people may think, there's not a whole lot of us in these kinds of jobs.
It's not.
Well, it's 4%. So Black folks make up 4% of doctors, and so therefore Black men make up 2% of all doctors in the United States, and Black women make up 2%, the other 2%.
Right.
So
it's like when I ran a marathon at the age of 50, my husband said to me, "Paula, you are 1/2 of 1% of the world's population has ever completed a marathon." Wow. And I was like, wow. He said, "Call yourself an athlete."
Amen. Okay. You ran the distance.
A number of times, by the way, but I want to say to you, those statistics that Imani just shared with you means that you're in an elite group, not the kind of elite group to make your head big, but the kind of elite group that says that in this day and age, 2020, we are still the first of this. We're still the second of that. There's got to come a time when all of this stuff stops being against us. And the only way that happens is we got to get in the game and fight. So I applaud you. Let me applaud you for being in veterinarian school. He's pre-vet.
I'm pre-vet.
Preparing. You will be.
Yeah, I will be. Yeah.
But right back to us when you're in veterinary school.
Veterinary school.
Yeah.
Okay, well that one, animal doctor.
Yeah, you have to see the horse book.
Right. And also, can I just say that even though my motivation this was like 20 years ago, was maybe, materialistic, one of the reasons why I decided to join Married to Medicine LA and, just have a platform is because there's been a shortage of psychiatrists forever, for as long as I've been training.
And mental health is real. So
mental health is real.
When I first saw you, I was like, wow, because I knew your mom. I knew your mom from my mom reading her books. So I've heard of her before. Yes. So when I was like, wait a minute, hold it, what? You know what I mean? And then to see you like in action, as phenomenal of a physician as you are, it brought it home to me. It was like more personal then. So that's why I did, DM you about it. But I'm glad that you added me so that I'm able to ask in person. Yeah. I feel blessed. But
yeah, I mean, I would say now my motivation honestly is like I want for there to be more Black folks in like psychiatrists. Like that's what we need, because I still have patients and they're like, "Who are you again?" I'm like, "I'm Dr. Walker. I'm your doctor." They're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes." So there's
They're
we
not
need
seeing
more.
that.
There
They're
needs to
not
be
used. They're
more of
not used to seeing
us,
that
so
melanin,
that
right?
our patients can relate to us, right? So that's really my motivation now.
Well, I appreciate all those words of wisdom. Like, my heart is full. I'm just so. My dog is looking at me. She's like, "What's going on? You seem a bit emotional." That really touched me,
Oh,
though, because
nice.
I was like, really, you know how you're like stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you don't want to like give up on what you knew as a dream. I mean, I've wanted to be a veterinarian since I was 2 years old. So you know what I'm saying? So that's something that's been my dream. I've delivered like a plethora of animals. I'm definitely great in reproduction. I wanted to study oncology too, for horses. So equestrian field is where I'm going in my field of studies. And you're right, it's like more of an elitism there, because all of my mentors, I have no faces like me. So I think that was, I'm not gonna lie, that was also a bit discouraging, because it wasn't, you know, there wasn't anyone to really relate to me. You know what I mean? To tell me, you know what, I know this seems hard, but once you master this, there's, you know what I mean? There's different
Whatever
steps
you do,
that help
just
you become
don't
successful.
give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Don't
Thank
give
you
up.
so much.
Right. Don't give up. And you know her what's it called, Instagram. So write to her and let us know how you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I
sorry
did.
I didn't see your
That's
DM.
okay. That's okay. I know you are extremely busy. I'm not even, trust me, I'm not holding it to your head or your heart.
Nice.
I
Well,
appreciate
thank you.
Thank you for calling
Thank
in.
you. You guys have a
Okay.
blessed week. Be safe, please.
Okay, you too.
Keep
Thank
doing
you.
great on Married to Medicine, girl. You're doing great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. I love it.
Okay,
Have a blessed week.
bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Somebody out there, so I'm going to say hi to, somebody asked me if I know Deborah Langford.
Yes. Yes.
Deborah's my girl.
Yeah. Okay. We have 4 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what do you want to say?
Oh,
okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. Here's a question. We are halfway through 2020. What are some upcoming projects you'd like to work on or have coming up? I'd like to work on actually taking like a break. And I mean, and I know that sounds like I'm joking, but like I have really been feeling like I need to like take a week or two off or something. Oh, what up, Harlem? What up, Uptown? So that's kind of what I'm working on. But on real, I have my podcast. That there's a new podcast every Thursday, and it's called Imani State of Mind. You can go to imanistateofmind.com in order to get more information on that. What's this say? Oh, I thought somebody was asking me about an entanglement, but it's just their username. Okay, you go. Well, what's up with you?
Well, I'm working on my TV series, getting that whole thing launched. But other than that, I think I'm going to pay more attention to what's happening this school year. Like I said yesterday about, I need to get him a dissecting kit. We need to figure out things that are not necessarily part of the school curriculum to keep him interested and excited about just learning.
Well, also, so this summer, well, I decided, but my mom will try to claim it. We have 2 minutes left. That, so basically Idris is going to be watching a bunch of movies.
Blaxploitation films.
Movies. I also thank you, Contessa. I also we got him some books and stuff. I just
some Black people books.
Yeah, black people books. Just because it's necessary, and he's 13, and he knows what's up. But I need for him to really know what's up. I was 12. Yeah.
When I gathered her and we spent the whole weekend watching things like Foxy Brown, Superfly, Across 110th Street, Shaft, because I wanted her to
Blackula.
Wanted her to understand and appreciate filmmaking, and whether it was going to be a classic education in film or just the kind of films like Down Home, all of that. I wanted her to know that. So this is the summer that I said to her, it's Idris's turn. We got to do Blaxploitation.
And Across 110th Street is like one of my favorite movies.
And I grew up I lived on 110th Street.
I
between
walked
Manhattan
down.
and Columbus.
I walked down on 10th Street, so there you have it.
Right.
Okay, so we have 45 seconds remaining. Idris, is there anything that you would like to add?
I'm working on making a web comic.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, and I'm getting help from Russell's girlfriend.
Nice.
Liz.
Oh, Liz.
Nice. Okay, so we have 27 seconds left. You know what? Well, I just want to say hi and thank you everybody who, came.
We decided
and
to
watched.
make this a regular.
Yeah, so we'll be here every Monday at 5 o'clock Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern time. And that's all I